First of all, Mike has been working all last week and during all the practice sessions about your voicemail when you're leaving a message for somebody on voicemail when you're doing your prospecting calls. An additional plug. If you are a real estate agent and you have as your voicemail greeting the standard you've reached 770-298-6421, leave a message, we can't be friends anymore. It's just that simple. You need to have a professional voicemail greeting that says, you know, good day, this is Jay Willard, real estate agent with Century 21. Unfortunately, I can't take your call right now. The whole spiel. Do not have your standard voicemail greeting. And I'm going to leave you one other little tidbit. I would strongly avoid language like, and I will get back to you at my convenience. Or if your call arrives after 6 p.m., I'll return the call on the following business day. In other words, you're not important enough to me. Your business is not important enough to me. And you're sending a message whether you want to or not about your priorities. Okay, I'm gonna mute somebody, a couple of people. Okay, do I need to? Is the horse dead? Do I need to beat that one any longer? Okay, everybody, leave a professional voicemail greeting so that people can leave you a message and understand who you are, what business you are in. All right. Second plug is my coaching calendar is remarkably open this week. So I really want to help you guys with your business, but I can't do so if you're not plugged into on my schedule. So several of you, some of you don't have excuses because you're going to Vegas tomorrow for the Century 21 conference. Some of you do have that excuse. Some of you don't. If you don't, get on my calendar. Would love to see what we can do to help build your business this week. Okay. Any questions before we get rolling? Okay, so today what I wanted to do is I looked at some of my lesson plans and some of the things that I've got to try to figure out what to help you with best today. Many of you are in the process of writing contracts or have just started writing contracts, are getting familiar with Docs Plus. So I want, and there are plenty of Docs Plus classes out there. I could tell you where to go to get an FMLS video on Docs Plus, and you can probably get a lot of basic skills. But I wanted to cover some tips and tricks, some additional things and settings within Docs Plus that can ultimately help you to work smarter, not harder, work faster and easier. Because that's what I do most often and most frequently is give you guys the shortcuts to do things easier, smarter, faster. Okay. All right. So having said that, let's go launching straight into Docs Plus. And let me get in the right screen here. Okay. Everybody looking at Docs Plus now? All right, so let's cover a couple of things first within the settings that are going to make your life a little bit easier. All right, so within the settings, everybody's got this set up on their settings from within their dashboard. You can go straight to your settings, and a couple of things that I would recommend that you check is one, your GAR FPN or your NERDS number is in here. Okay, if you happen to log into your Docs Plus and all of a sudden you can't see GAR contracts, the Georgia Association of Real Estate forms within there, the problem is usually right here within this setting. All right, you may not have your NERDS number input correctly. Your board membership may have expired, in which case you don't have access to those forms anymore. You kind of need that to do business, right? So this is where you would go to input your NRDS number, which is something that you get from the National Association of Real Estate, and you can even see when it expires. In my case, it expires at the end of the year. But if you're having problems, this is usually where it is at. All right. Any questions on that? Anybody having any issues or had any recently and figured this out the hard way? They did something at the first of the year. Hopefully this isn't you, that you haven't used this since the first of the year, but even if you had it in here, you had to go in and hit change, click there, and then hit confirm, just to make sure that it was indeed still accurate. So it's a simple little exercise of clicking a couple of things, but you should be good to go. Okay. All right. The other thing is when you are filling out forms, there is always on that line within a purchase and sale, within one of the exhibits, for you as a real estate agent, what your board membership is. Okay. And if you want to avoid having to type that 5 times for every offer that you write, you can simply come in here and put in your board membership right here. Atlanta Realtors Association, or Cobb Realtors Board, or NAMAR, or something like that. So you can put that in here, you can change it, you can update it. By the way, I do recommend that you use the trademarked Realtors with all caps and the registration at the end, okay, when you're doing this. And all you have to do is type it in there once, and it'll be there forever and a day. Okay, so there's some additional preferences down below here in terms of notifications and a couple other things. These are a little less prevalent, but those are the 2 big things on here: GAR, forms through your settings, and your board membership. All right. By the way, when we're talking about forms, let's go ahead and go to the forms library. You will see there is a bunch of Century 21 forms. There are Georgia Association of Real Estate forms, and then there's some FMLS and RE forms. Okay. What do I always say about RE forms, y'all? Are they good? Are they bad? Are they a suitable substitute for a GAR form?
No, we don't use them.
They're trash. And that's your script with your client. Is Georgia Association of Real Estate forms are written by people way smarter than you and me. And they have been tried and true tested. And RE forms are do not have the same level of protections, do not have the same level of equitability between buyers and sellers that Georgia Association of Real Estate forms have. Okay, so what do you do as an agent when you receive a contract from somebody on your listing that is done in RE forms?
Ask them to redo it.
Okay, yes, you do. And because you have a board membership, you can provide them the appropriate forms. If they are not a board member and they are using RE forms, one, be wary, because any professional agent that doesn't affiliate with a board is somebody that I would be concerned about. 2, you can provide them the appropriate GAR forms and ask them to fill out the GAR forms, because those are protections that are built in for your client that are not present in RE forms. Okay. Wow, you know what? They just added the, I didn't see the Atlanta forms and the Mid-Georgia forms. You know, everybody should know, or if you don't know, there is a movement afoot to standardize MLSs across the country. So FMLS and Matrix and you know, Georgia in general have been trying to standardize forms. That's why you now have access to Alabama and Mid-Georgia MLS forms within RDocs, or Docs Plus, sorry. If I refer to the language of RDocs, it's because old habits die hard. All right, let's go back. Okay, so there is the forms library. There is also a package library with the forms that you are likely to need. We've built the packages for you based off of what your need is. Okay, so if you are starting a new transaction and you're going to be doing a listing and it is an attached townhome, there's a listing presentation. You come in here, you click on there, and these are all of the forms that you are likely to need. You're not guaranteed to need every single one of these, but these are the forms that you're likely to need for a listing presentation for an attached townhome. Okay. So, and these are available from within the menu on the left side of Remind Docs Plus, but they're also within, when you're in the transaction, you can access them there too. All right. There is also the Special Stips Clause Library, which we have a vast myriad of potential special stips. We do not want you to write your own special stips. There are literally hundreds of them already written for you, and I suggest you utilize them to the best of your abilities from within here. We have several that are specific to Century 21, but the vast majority, there are literally hundreds of them available within the Georgia Association of Realtors. And let me show you one of the best tips and tricks that you can ever get is if you're trying to figure out, do I need a special stip on, should I be protecting my client from termites for the house? All right, and you go, well, what's available? The hour or the magnifying glass up at the top, you can come in here and look for and do a search for the word termite. And you now have, what are we talking about? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different special steps dealing with termite reports, termite guarantees, termite seller agrees to treat and or repair damage, and you can evaluate each one of these and decide whether or not you're going to use it. Okay, so again, to reiterate, these are available within the menu bar on the left side, but they're also available within the transaction history. Okay. So let's go in here. Let me tell you one other thing that you may or may not know is a tool that I use all the time, but you guys may not be familiar with. If you are drafting an offer and you want somebody to review it, if you need help desk to take a look at something, or you need help desk to get an initial for you, we have the ability to log into your account, impersonate you through this menu box, and I can help you write an offer. This is how I do this often when y'all call me on a Saturday night and need their help writing an offer or reviewing an offer. I can impersonate you, switch to, I can, let me just for grins, Tracy Leith. I am now logging into your account, Tracy, and I can see everything that you can see from within your transaction history. Looks like Tracy's been a busy girl. Look at this. Barrington Hills. One of the other things I like about this is you can actually see if there's something has been signed lately. Oops, I just moved that. Didn't mean to move it. Sorry. You can actually see if something has been signed by the signature banner over here. I can also see that Tracy has MLS linked a number of her properties in here, because you can see the MLS number is populated within the field right here. Okay. So let me stop impersonating Tracy so that she doesn't get mad at me. All right. So now we were within transactions. All right. Let me show you some tips and tricks from within transactions. First off, notice the folders. I like to use the folders from within here. So for example, if I have one client and I'm working with a family called the Bales family, and I have folders in here for multiple properties that we have either written offers for or evaluated offers from. And each one of these is a folder. Notice the difference between the appearance here between a folder and a form. These are forms, and you can simply create a folder and move and group them into the appropriate folders. Organization is key. Notice I don't have a whole lot in here, but if you look at my archive folder, anything that I am no longer working on all ends up in my archive folder. Okay, so it's still accessible, but it is not clogging up my brain or anything associated with these are only my active clients that I'm currently working with. All right. And if you, and notice I have, I've done a folder for the buyer's brokerage agreement, and I've done a folder for each one of the properties that I have written offers for or working on with this particular client. Any questions on anything so far? Nobody? Okay, let me show you some other neat things within the system here. All right, so Everett Springs. Notice, so you've got all of your forms here. This is where if I wanted to create a new folder from within here, I would simply click on the folder link and name that folder. You know what, I'm just gonna go ahead, I'll create a folder. Offer. Okay, it created the folder, but it's empty. Now if I go back, sorry, the system's a little slow, y'all. There we finally go. So now you have the offer, but say for example, I wanted to move all of these particular files. Golly, why is this thing so finicky today? Say for example, I wanted to move those into that offer folder. You simply come up to your menu bar up here, move, and then you just select that folder and done. And now those are going to disappear and they're going to appear within the offer folder. Okay. Hopefully that helps you get a little bit better organized. All right. Now, let me show you one other wonderful little trick. Does anybody ever, if you have listed a home, you may have received an offer from an agent that came through their signature program, and you might get an email that might have 8 different attachments to it, and each one of those attachments is a separate document, an exhibit within the offer. Has anybody ever had that happen before or seen it? And do you want to sit and click on each one, download them, and then upload them to your RDocs file or to your Docs Plus file? Of course you don't. Let me show you a little trick. This copy transaction email, all right, you can upload any number of attachments to and from an email directly into this transaction folder by hitting this copy. Right here is the email address that you would forward an email to, but you can just simply copy this transaction. And let's say you, do I have an email with an attachment to it? I'm trying to see if I've got something. All right, let me find something for y'all real quick. Say, for example, well, you know what? I can't find an email. But all you would need to do is go to your email, find an email that has the attachment, and then just literally forward this email, forward the email that you have to this email address, and those documents will show up within this folder.
Jay, so you're saying,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
say they send a pre-qualify, wait a minute, are you talking about if they have like a pre-qualification letter or
Yeah.
pre-approval letter and you
Mhm.
add it?
Yep.
So you can just go to that pre-approval letter in your email and forward it to that email address?
Yes, ma'am.
Let it go
And
into
give it
the-
about 2 or 3 minutes. It takes a little bit longer than just a simple technical, email. But you will come back here and you will find that whatever was attached to that email will be a PDF attachment right here within the folder, within the transaction.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is common when you're dealing with Keller Williams agents. Keller Williams agents use .loop, and you get, an email that has 8 different attachments to it. One is the purchase and sale. One is the conventional loan. One is the seller's property. You can simply upload all of them here directly into this. Okay. I want to show you a couple other things that are really, really key that will also help you avoid being this person on the other end of the transaction. Okay, so now this is, say for example, I wanted to, you know what, I'm not going to do this one. I'm going to do, sorry guys, I'm trying to give you the best example of one. Actually, let me go to my archives. Wow, the system is really slow today. Okay. So say for example, I had, these are all the exhibits for a particular offer. Let's say I wanted to combine these, which I strongly recommend that you do, into a single PDF instead of being the guy that's sending an email with 8 separate attachments to it. You simply click on all of these forms, you hit the download button, and it's going to ask you to download them as a zip file to my computer, download them as a one PDF to this transaction folder, which is a good thing to do, or download this as a one PDF file to my computer. Click on that bad boy, you name it, offer number 1, hit next. And what you're going to see is it's going to download it here in just a second. Your export is being prepared. And usually you would see it in your downloads folder show up here. And in typical fashion, the system is very, very slow, so I apologize. There it is. So now you have all of these in a combined single PDF. Okay. Everybody know how to do that now? Good to go. Okay, let me show you a couple other things. If you are wondering, did my client get the e-sign session that I sent? They're saying they didn't get it. You have these little tabs across the top. You can go to your e-signs. And because I'm in my archive folder, I don't think that's going to show up. I go to my transactions. And then we can look at the e-signs, and you can actually see, this is a session that I sent. You have different, the details of who it went to, in progress.
Yeah.
You can download anything that is currently underway. And I believe you can also cancel it. Say, for example, your client changed some terms of the contract, and you want to make sure that they're not signing the old one because you changed it and resent them a new one. You can cancel it directly from within here.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yes, very helpful tool. Very, very helpful tool. Julie, I'm going to mute you. Okay. What other questions do you have? Were there any nuggets within here? Anything anybody didn't know before?
All of it.
The email drop thing, upload docs.
Okay. Yes.
Dude, that
That was
is
pretty cool.
Sorry.
very, very helpful. And it's an easy way to get everything in there very, very quickly. All right. Anybody else?
I didn't know about the e-sign part. That was a big bulb light for me.
Good.
I never seen that before.
And it's there, and I didn't show because that was an e-sign session that had already been completed. But if it was still incomplete, I believe there's even a button where you could resend the invitation that they originally got for signature. Okay, so if somebody's like, oh, I'm looking at my email and it's not there, you can literally, while you're on the phone, resend them the invitation, and they can go either looking for it in their inbox or go to their spam folder, or whatever the case may be. But maybe it was 3 days ago and you want to put it at the top of their inbox. That's the way to do it. We didn't see it here because again, that was an e-sign session that had already been completed. But if it was one that was still incomplete, you'd have that option. All right.
Yeah, I like that we could go settings and just automatically update like our what's the thing called?
Your
Who
board
we're affiliated
membership.
with. Like,
Yep.
yeah, because every time I have to go in and I miss spots and all that stuff. So I like that we can automatically update and have it pre-filled.
Fill it out once, it's there in perpetuity forever and a day from that day forward. All right, everybody, that's all I got for you today. I'm actually finishing on time for a change.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, have a great day. Get on my calendar. Go to BrokerMint, reserve a spot today, please. Thank you. Have a great day.